that is hailstones.
Wow, the size of them.
Oh, there we go. That's the first hose changed. So if you think the Mediterranean is all dreamy boulevards and palm trees, think again. And that is hailstones.
Wow, the size of them.
Here we are again, back in the engine bay. Today I am going to be changing all of these raw water hoses. Now they're 7 years, 8 years old, started to discolour. The top one there, it's got a couple of wear marks from the lifting eye. I'm going to see if I can put a P-clip on that. That allows me to look inside the heat exchanger, which is over there, and just make sure that that's not clogged up too bad. If it is, we'll take the centre cores out of the heat exchanger, and of course I can then, while the hoses are off, I will change the raw water impeller down in the pump. I think you've seen me do some of these before on previous videos. I'll put a link in the description. We've done them on these Volvo engines and on a couple of Yamahas as well. So I'll say no more. I'll get on with it. I've got the new hose here. First thing I'm going to do is release the water from here, which is our raw water strainer. I've taken the lid off. I'm going to take the water out of there with my shop vac, and then undo the hoses here. And take the salt water out. The reason I'm doing that is because I don't want salt water all over the engine or down in the engine bay. Now the first hose is off. It's off at the anti-siphon valve end and off at the pump end. And there it is on the floor. Oh, camera strap. There it is on the floor. And the other end there. I'm going to take the hose clamps off in a moment and have the new piece here. That's the new piece of hose, and I'm just going to get the kettle now and dip the end of this hose into the kettle so that it's more malleable, and then slide it over. And our kettle is running off our solar because we have bright sunshine and lots of power. Oh, there we go. That's the first hose changed. Double clipped at the pump because the pump is below the water line. So all hoses below the water line on your boat should be double clipped if there is enough room to put 2 clips on. If you can't get 2 clips on, then make sure you've got a damn good one on there. And then at the top above the water line, single clipped. And I think what we'll do is where that hose comes down, we'll either tie that back or perhaps tie it to the old one with a Jubilee clip, maybe a P clip on the top there. Let's get the next ones on. Boiling hot water. Soak the end of your hoses in boiling hot water, or use one of those heat guns. The boiling hot water is better because you don't scorch the pipe. And in scorching the pipe you can make the PVC hose go brittle. so boiling hot water won't scorch the pipe. They are top tip for you. We have the hose off of the heat exchanger there, and you can actually see inside to the core with a bright LED torch, and it's as clean as a whistle inside. I've now put this hose on both sides of the pump. Pretty difficult. The hose, if you look at the two on the back there, the old one and the new one, the old one is obviously the one that's sort of browny colour. It looks a lot bigger, but the internal diameter is the same. It's reputedly 19mm, but the wall thickness is less, and it is what you'd call a tight 19mm. So pretty damn difficult to do. One more piece to do from here, from the anti-siphon valve, which comes across the engine and into the heat exchanger, and then that one piece down to the sail drive, and we're done. Right, let's get on with that now. There we are, engine running, new hose in. Let's get a torch on it for you so you can see. Better this one. In there now. New hoses down there. New hose to there. I've left that old hose on because I had trouble moving the inlet valve. Getting it over the hose tail there. So I've actually left that one on, just tidied it up. But that's it. Job's a good one. That got it out. But we had to try all them first. Back on Peter's boat, I thought I'd give you a handy tip. A top tip. Dun dun dun. Top tips. So, this is the Genoa track. You can see that the cars have got worn there really bad. We've got to take this car off, pull this pin out and replace this. To get that off, we have to take the end clips off. Yep. And unfortunately they are aluminum with a stainless steel bolt, and they are seized inside. So we have tried long series socket head Allen keys. We have tried Imperial, those ones there, Imperial. We've tried metric. We've tried metric, which is the ones that they are, on a ratchet. We've tried banging an oversized one in, nothing works. But there is an old trick that you can use to get a Torx head and to bang it into the screw, and then just gently warm the track with one of these little blow lamps. So this is a cooking blow lamp for your creme brulee, and you just heat the track up. And you've got to be careful obviously, because you don't want to melt this plastic, but just warm it up. Aluminium expands quicker or greater than stainless steel, so that releases it, and then you bang this in with a hammer, the Torx head into the screw with a hammer. Now obviously you're going to damage the inside of that, but you've probably rounded off the hex head anyway trying to undo it. That then gets a decent grip, and you can gently pull it out. There you go, top tip. And now we can take this car off and replace that. Well, woo, stop. So we wanted to remove these rollers on the sides of the car by taking out this pin here, and believed it pushed up from the bottom. Breaking news, it doesn't. In order to remove these two pins, you would think you'd have to push them up from the bottom. Well, you don't. What you have to do is you have to cut two slots in these guide rollers and then split them with a small chisel or an old screwdriver so that you can actually break away the guides from the pins. You then grip the two pins one at a time with a set of mole grips and tap them upwards. Hey presto, out they come. You don't actually have to take the jib cars off of the tracks at all. Sneaky, eh? Now you remember that we looked after Finn for a couple of months while his owners were back in the States. When they returned, they had some boat work to do. Here we are at Mersin, and Chris and Melissa were quoted £2,300 to anti-foul their cat and polish the top sides. So in true British style, the Brits came to the rescue, and there's myself, David, Cindy, Melissa, Caroline and Chris all working on the boat to get the anti-foul on today. First we're just keying it up and wet sanding all the way around. A couple of little gel coat repairs that needed doing with some epoxy. The man with a sanding machine next to us, so it's crazy because they said to us, you've got to wet sand it, you can't dry sand it, it's down to the environment. Apart from when it's them doing it, of course. Anyway, so yeah, this is what we do. We all work together. We're all in the same boat. From the front. But this boat is for sale, or is at this moment in time, and it has been fastidiously looked after. It's only a couple of years old, so yeah. I mean, you can see it's not been polished yet. It's got a beautiful finish on it. It is a lovely boat, well looked after. Oh, there we go. Spring has finally sprung. Time to rub all the red dust down off the boat. Sid's showing her best side there. I said best side. So all the stainless has been cleaned, jet washed the boat off. We're going to go down inside, down into the water in the dinghy in a minute and start polishing the sides up. Not coming out this year, I don't think. We have got a through hull to do. Well, we're going to change all of them. We were going to do them here, but the cost of coming out is more than it is in a European marina, so we're not desperate to come out. We've got a copper coat. We'll just give the bottom a rub over. We'll be okay. Look at these black streaks, look. See them? And yeah, I'll probably copyright from the music. I've got my hits of the 60s on. So it hasn't been a bad marina really. There's one iPhone, 2 screwdrivers and a padlock down there, as well as the guide for my chisels. You know those little guides that give you the 30 degrees that you need for a chisel? Well, you can actually adjust them, but yeah, that's down there. Can't get them out. Tried a magnet. iPhone was on its last legs anyway. It's already had 2 new batteries. I'll start arranging things and packing things up for cruising. Get things put away, get our lines out, etc, etc, etc. Oh, better update you on the cat. Let's show you what we've done on the cat. You'll recognise Peter and Anne's boat. It's a Lagoon 380. So we did quite a bit of work on White Cat over the winter. One of the last jobs to do was to upgrade the solar. As you know, we did the batteries. They were on their last legs, so we changed all 3 of the domestic batteries, and we put new starter batteries on both engines. One was 24% efficient and the other one was about 30 something, but you know, a long way from perfect. Anyway, what we've done is we've now upgraded the solar, so 2 450 watt panels on the same frame as he had 2 250 watt panels. Now they were done 12 years ago. I'll show you the old panels in a minute. What we did is we took these aluminium bars, you can see the extrusions there, and we put them across where the original panels were bolted. What that's done is it's extended the frame out by an extra 4 inches on both sides. We've left a 10mm gap in the middle, thereabouts, ½ inch, something like that, just so that when it rains the water can run off the centre and not from one panel to another panel. And you can see extended them out rather, a couple of inches, and that gave us enough to bolt the new panels on, so that aluminum rails are bolted to the original frame, and then the panels are bolted to them with M5. So there's about 16 or 14 M5s holding that lot on. They will not come off. We've rewired it in 6mm because it had been originally wired in 4mm, and we've put fuses down inside the engine bay, so the power comes in at the bottom here. You can see there's cables there. Now those cables are all double insulated, double thickness. I'm toying with whether to put some protection on them, some plastic conduit or something. But anyway, so those cables, red and the black, come down, they go into the engine bay in here, and then they go into a set of fuses, and then from the fuses down to separate Victron charge regulators. So we have 2 150 Victron smart regulators, and we've now put those in as well, and again fuses on the outputs. I'll show you the circuit diagram. Now have a look at this. So here's a schematic for Peter's solar. You'll see that we've got the 2 400 watts there feeding twin Victron regulators. We were going to put one of the 250s back on the boat on the actual coach roof, but the performance has been so good that Peter's decided against it, and he's just going to leave the 2 small walkable panels that he's got up on the roof. Actually it might be 3, but he's going to leave them there. And the idea is that we're going to direct them back through the port starter battery just to keep that topped up, or he may actually remove the walkable panels in their entirety from the coach roof. He hasn't decided yet. So these are the other panels. These are 250 watts, about 8 years old, and they're still putting out, you know, still kicking out up to spec. They haven't deteriorated, but it's just not enough. He was having to start the engine every couple of days. So yeah, good condition. If you want a couple of 250 watt panels, Peter's got them for sale. If you're anywhere near Mersin in Turkey, just want cleaning. But the technology's moved on, you know. Almost the same size panel is giving out almost double the watts. So you can see here now, that the panels extend over about 6 inches, 9 inches at the front, and an additional 12 inches at the back. So that's 300mm at the back and about 250mm at the front. And yeah, 900 watts there now, or thereabouts. Patreons support the making of these videos. They don't support our lifestyle. The money that we get from Patreons and from YouTube goes towards better equipment like cameras, gimbals, headsets and data that we have to purchase for uploading these videos to YouTube. If you're not a patron, why don't you pop over to our Patreon page? The link's in the description. Or you can use this one here. We'd love to have you on board, and Patreons get lots of other things like real-time updates, tracking facilities. They can tell exactly where we are at any given time. Patrons can send us messages and take part in our Patreon forum. We can answer technical questions, get suggestions for them from videos and much more. So if you're not a patron, come on, join the crew. So what is it, Cindy?
Helicopter.
Augusta. It's a big one, darling.
It is a big one.
Automatic cannon. Effective over 7,000 yards, it says. And this one here, ASROC launcher. There are a lot of exhibits, both in the museum and across the road, like this American starfighter. They used to call it the Widowmaker.
That's their charts, isn't it?
Oh, it's something Tom Cunliffe would use, you know. He'd say you should never be without one. So if you'd like to see more from the Maritime Museum, let us know. Put something in the comments. If enough of you want to see a video on maritime history in the area, then we'll certainly make a video for you. Hello! Museum was good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
It was good. I know not everybody's interested in a bit of history, but we went up there and we didn't use our museum cards. It was
Well, they're only valid in municipal museums anyway, so only private museums like the naval,
yeah.
the museum cards are not valid. So,
But it was really good. There was lots of old stuff there, which I knew all about.
I know, darling.
Yeah, and they had an old Augusta out the side of the museum, and a starfighter, and
What was the helicopter?
that was Augusta.
Oh, right, okay.
And a starfighter out the front, and loads of stuff, and some of it went back to sort of 1300s, didn't it?
I was more amazed with the costumes the naval officers used to wear.
Yeah,
I mean, you know,
very
baggy trousers.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was really good, but it's not everybody's cup of tea, I know. And we like doing history, don't we? We like.
Well, it was a day out for us as well.
Yeah,
It makes a change from boat maintenance.
And we got to use the new camera, or tried to use the new camera. They wouldn't let us use the camera inside the museum, but they couldn't stop us using the iPhone. Anyway, so yeah, that was good. If it's enough, if you want to see it, then say something down in the comments, because as we said, it's not everyone's cup of tea, but not everybody wants to see sailing and boat maintenance 24/7 or every week.
And we've had a hard week. We have cleaned this boat on the outside from top to bottom. Everything's polished.
Yeah.
It's been a long week.
So we washed the top sides, jet washed them, scrubbed them, and then we did all from the waterline up. It's been polished all the way round.
In the water.
In the water, yeah.
From the dinghy.
and if you've done that before, you know how difficult that is. Because even with a glass lifter sucker on the side, you know, as soon as you push against the boat to polish, wax on, wax off. You know, you're pushing the dinghy away. So yeah, it's hard work. We did a couple of little gel coat repairs at the front, didn't we? And that was about.
And we didn't record any of it because you've all seen us polish the boat before, many a time.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
It didn't want to. But we have been absolutely flat out for about a week, haven't we? Something like that. And hopefully next week we will be casting off the lines.
Just waiting for a decent weather window, really.
Yeah, just to be nice to have the first bit of the trip that we've got to do to the first decent anchorage is about 55 miles, so it's a day's sail, just under a day. And we want, you know, decent weather, the wind blowing in the right direction to go there. What was I going? Oh yes, there was subscribers. We go and hit the thing down here. Subscribe. Go and do it now. Right now. Do it now. We seem to have had a change in our subscriptions. Now about 50%, 60% of you are unsubscribed. It costs you absolutely nothing. Click the bell and hit the subscribe thing, and you'll get our videos whether you want to see them or not.
As always, a big thank you to our Patreons.
Yeah, thanks Patreons.
And we've had a couple of people buy us a beer this week. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for the beers.
Much appreciated.
Guys, I'm not going to pronounce the names, but A, because I'd probably make a complete hash of it, but B, because we don't know whether you want to remain anonymous and not be known. So, thank you guys for beer. We will have our first arrival beer when we drop the hook, and hopefully next week sometime. At some point, someone did ask us if we were going to do an update on the lithium now that we've had the lithium a year. Yes, we are going to do an update. So I've got birds walking around on top of the boat after I've just cleaned it. They always leave a little calling card. Yes, I'll do an update. It's now the computer management with the Pi. Raspberry Pi has all kind of settled down. We've got all the right software and that, so it probably is time to do an upgrade.
Perhaps after a couple of weeks at anchor, we'll have more.
Yeah. I mean, we had it at the end of last season, but I'd just come out of hospital and we only had about 2 months of season last year, so we didn't get a chance to give it a real good test. But yeah, we've made a few changes, and at some point we will be doing an update video. Well, I suppose we better light the barbecue, because we're barbecuing tonight on board. So if you want a burger, just pop round. You know where we are. Right, burger and beer, as it's Sunday. Yeah?
Yep.
See you later, folks.
Bye.
Take care. Sail safe.